I brought two railroad spikes. One is from 1880, which is the year that the railroad came. So this is one of the original spikes, and it's fairly small compared to today's standards because, of course, the rolling stock was relatively light. But the larger picture is that with the railroad, a lot changed. The Anglo culture, the Americans, had been here since 1846. But the railroads did a lot of things. They really advanced the Americanization of the town. They brought in Victorian culture. Along with Victorian culture came a change in architecture and bricks. There were no bricks here until the railroad brought them. And they were expensive, so they started using them for the coping for the top of adobe walls. And eventually several brick houses were built. And as you may know, there's one that was actually adobe that was painted to look like bricks. So the people get the credit for having the money to have bricks, which they didn't. And all of that is due to the arrival of the railroad in 1880. Of course, there are all the cultural influences of creating a market for Native Americans to sell pottery, jewelry, blankets, and baskets to the passengers on the railroad. And it opened up a lot of other things. In 1883, for instance, the city fathers, not seeing enough tourists getting off the train down at Lamy, invented a fiesta that ran all summer long, which they advertised. I think they called it the 400th anniversary or something like that. And we still have vestiges of that because Federal Place and Paseo de Peralta to the north are joined by two curved roads, and that represents the racetrack from that 1883 fiesta, which was based basically on the arrival of the railroad several years before.